with you. Wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, wake up,
We know. We're sorry. Last week, it happens. Things happen, but we always find a way to regroup, bounce back per usual. Ladies and gentlemen, it is another wonderful episode of the College Couch Podcast, episode 10. We're labeling this one as 10 stacks. As
Yeah,
always, Javaris Harris got my boy with me. Stackz Delbridge is always in the building, as per usual. But listen, man, again, it sucks when you run into little mishaps. Um, but again, like they say, life happens, things happen.
for sure.
Also, I listen. I got kicked out of the office, right? So I'm in a new spot. So yeah, man. So I think you just got to learn how to roll with the punches, and that's what we're doing right now. We're just trying to really do things on the fly, especially when you're learning about this whole podcasting. We're new to this, so it's all about really learning on the fly, and so that's exactly how we're approaching this thing. So thank y'all for bearing with us through those I want to say early issues that we may run into, and just really sticking by us. So that really means a lot. But we're not going to waste any time here. Let's get into our slate. I mean, we had a good one that we had recorded, but again, things happen. So let's get into this the week 12 of things. This will be Washington and Oregon State. Brother, let me tell you about this man, Michael Penix. Dog.
Hey,
Like you
hey,
only
he
say
built
one
for it. He
word.
been showing them this whole season
Yeah,
how he hey. If
yeah,
he don't win the Heisman, I mean, you know what I'm saying? A lot of scouts be looking at that joker. So he's definitely
mhm,
gonna have a bright future. So it's
yeah,
either way.
yeah,
Heisman is really close. I wouldn't be mad at any of the people that's up right now. So
mhm,
I mean, he's balled out. He's balled out,
yeah.
and he was nothing short of amazing on Saturday. So
He also showed a little bit of the we don't see a lot of rushing from him. He scored one, kind of ran around for 20 something yards, but I think the big headline was really seeing DJ Uiagalelei. You know, I want to really put this out there. When he was still with Clemson, and his struggles at Clemson, DJ still led a great Clemson team before his departure. But seeing him really maneuver and just operate with this Oregon State team has really been a thing to watch. Like, don't take this Oregon State team for granted. Even
for
though
sure.
like things may not look on the up for them right now, they're still in the top 25.
Yeah, I mean, and they competed. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
competed. I mean, they compete all year. I mean,
Yeah.
I think you know what I'm saying. It took them a while to figure it out, and I'm not even gonna attempt his last name. I always mess it up. But DJ, I mean at Clemson, you got big shoes to fill. You
Mm-hmm.
got you know what I'm saying. You have to fill in for Trevor Lawrence, which was had a phenomenal college career. So I mean, and the championship runs that they had. So it's like that's a lot of pressure. I mean,
Yeah.
players make plays regardless, but it's a lot of pressure to take on that. You know what I'm saying? Especially when a lot of your talent leaves as well. So I mean, Clemson has talent and had talent when he was there, but not like they had when Trevor Lawrence was hitting his prime and doing his thing in college. You know what I'm saying? So that's a big gap. It was a big gap. Like it's a difference in 5 and 4 star players
Yeah.
that they had. Yeah, they had 5 stars still there, but they weren't the same 5 stars that they had before. Like it's levels, I would say. But fresh start for him. I think he's done very well with the talent that he has at Oregon State. I think he still got some things ironed out, but at the end of the day, he's making the best of his situation. He
Mhm.
left and he has Oregon State playing good ball. So you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And I think another thing to really hit on about this game, there's a dark horse in the mix of this Oregon State team, and he's not really talked about, is their running back Damian Martinez. This man is in the, I want to say, in the top 10 or maybe top 15 of rushing of rushes in the D1 level right now. Like, this man is so underrated, and he went out there and put up 123 rushing yards this past Saturday, as well as 2 touchdowns, with his longest being for 20 yards. This man probably needs to have more respect put on his name. And if not, a lot of teams are going to figure out, if not by the end of this season, going into next year, I want to say he has one more year. They're going to find out why this man is probably one, if not, I wouldn't say he's the best running back in the Pac-12, but he's definitely one of the best running backs in the Pac-12, bar none.
Yeah,
Of
yeah,
course of course there's some other studs that are coming out of the Pac-12, but he's definitely up there for sure.
yeah. I mean, you know how it is. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? When you're the underrated guy, you kind of got to make a name for yourself. You put those
yeah.
numbers, and then after you put up the big numbers that next year,
Hmm.
everybody's like, oh, okay, he might be the real deal, and then that's when you start getting the
Yeah.
respect. But it's earned. I mean, so a lot of times that a lot of big names weren't big names. You know what I'm saying? They had to work their way up. I mean, with Georgia, you had Chubb and Sony Michelle who had
Hmm.
to, make a name for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, so because they were, behind, a great back in Gurley and all those studs that they had up there.
Mhm.
So it's one of them things like when your numbers call, you answer. Even if you don't think nobody paying attention. Right
Yep.
now, he answering. You know what I'm saying? And next year, or even bowl season, people are gonna start paying attention. So
Hmm.
it's one of those type of things. So
Yeah, for sure. And I think rankings just came out as well. This is a Tuesday recording. Of course, as y'all know, we record these, try to record them at least by Wednesday. And this Washington team has just been put into five. So the rankings as of right now is Georgia, Ohio State, Michigan, Washington. I'm sorry, that's wrong. That is definitely
Florida
wrong.
State, Florida State number 4 should be somewhere in
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah. If I'm correct, that should be. I think that's correct. I don't want to give
yeah.
y'all the
Last
wrong.
time I checked, Washington was number 5. You had Georgia, Ohio State, and Michigan.
Yeah. So
But
yeah, that was
yes.
So that
So
was right.
Washington is flying high right now. They have a
Mhm.
chance to make something shake. But
Yeah.
they still got a difficult game coming up soon. So I mean,
Hmm.
you got to survive rival week. So this week coming up, you got to survive that, and then
Hmm.
not only you have to survive that, then you have to survive your conference championship.
Yeah.
So so if you survive Saturday, okay, cool, kudos to you, okay. But now you got to come to this, conference championship and make some even more noise because
And what's even crazier is they're probably going to have to end up playing the Oregon team again from the looks of
that's
it.
on fire. That's on
Yeah.
fire right now,
Yeah.
and that's playing hungry. Like,
Hmm.
cause they want some shine for that playoff spot,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and especially I mean prayers up to Florida's quarterback, Florida
Yeah.
State's
Jordan
quarterback.
Travis.
Yes,
Yeah.
I saw the injury, ugly injury. You hate to see a player go down, especially in that manner.
Hmm.
But with the injury to him, a lot of teams that's right on that bubble, they're looking to say, okay, with his backup, I don't think he can finish it out.
Yeah.
So I mean, and Florida State has a tough matchup. They got this week they got to finish out, and then conference championship. It looks like they're gonna be playing a Louisville team
Hmm.
that's come out of nowhere, and
Yeah.
it's like we here, like
Yeah.
So everybody's playing hungry right now. I
Yeah.
mean, everybody wants a piece of that playoff action.
Right.
So I mean, you got Florida State right there at the edge, barely hanging on. You got Washington right there at the door trying to knock it down. You got Oregon trying to get in there. You got even Bama trying to get in the
Hmm.
mix. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's shaping up to be a good ending. This is because you also got to look too. You got Ohio State. Michigan playing each other this weekend, and then they got to play their conference championship. So it's like, okay, it could be some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah,
So
and
it's gonna be interesting.
I'm glad you brought up that Jordan Travis injury. Of course, again, you never want to see a guy. You never want to see anyone in a position like that, especially the starting quarterback. But it's been a lot of talk, especially leading up to the rankings being put out today, that this Washington team was pretty much thrown at for because a lot of people are pretty much doubting that a Florida State team will be able to finish out like how they started, beginning in the beginning and middle of the season. So I want to ask you, do you feel that like this Florida State team might collapse in front of us, especially not having their starting QB right now for that Washington team to have jumped into that fourth spot?
Again, like I tell you all the time, I hate the rankings. I hate it
Mm-hmm.
because how so quarterbacks biggest position on the field. You know,
Mm-hmm.
most you can't win without a quarterback. We know that, but how can you knock somebody or a team that's undefeated? You know what I'm saying? Still pressing, still won after he got hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and by a big margin, might I add. How can you knock them out? You know what I'm saying? Because you think, well, they don't got their starting quarterback, so they're not gonna be great. They're not gonna finish it out. Although they might have a setback, they might not be as complete of a team as they were with him. They still got studs. He didn't win those games by himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the receivers are still catching passes like crazy. The running backs are still doing their thing. I mean, the team is still the same.
Yeah.
You just have a backup now. Now the storyline would be if they had lost that game where he got hurt, then I can
Mm-hmm.
say, all right, I get it. They need him, but they still won, and they won by a big margin. I think it was like 55-7, like with the backup. So a lot will tell this week when he plays this weekend. I think that they should be able to sustain that. Where they make noise in the playoffs when they get there, that's a different story because I
Yeah.
mean, you got. I'm not sure who will be where everything will fall. So if you got to play at Georgia, you want your starting quarterback, so that's going to
Mm-hmm.
be tough. Or if you play any of those teams, but especially if you play Georgia, you want everything
Right.
firing on all cylinders.
Mm-hmm.
But do I feel like they deserve to be there? Shoot, yeah, I feel like they deserve to be there to at least compete because you go the entire season without a blemish on your record. You know, you beat LSU, which is a tough team for anybody. You beat, all these other teams, and you go undefeated, only to have your quarterback go down, and then they say, "Oh well, we don't think you can compete, so we're not gonna put you in there."
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me. You know, makes zero sense. Which is why I like the fact that they're going to the expanded playoff. Because it doesn't matter if you felt like I shouldn't be in there. Because if you drop me to 5, I'm still in the playoffs. And let me just show you real quick how I can play, how I can ball. So in my opinion, I don't know. I think they can still make the playoffs with him. They should still be able to make the playoffs with him. Without their starting quarterback, with the backup. But now, will they advance in the playoffs and make the championship game? I don't think so. Just because of who they have to face. Just because those teams are complete. Like Ohio State is complete. Georgia is as complete as we've seen them all season. They started clicking now. You know, like it's really clicking. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
like on Georgia standards, should I
Yeah.
say? And Michigan, of course, is complete. I mean, the quarterback. I think he has to McCarthy. His name McCarthy. He
Yeah.
has
JJ
to,
McCarthy. Mm-hmm.
heal up a little bit because he looked a little rusty this past weekend. But I think everybody else in that playoff picture right now are pretty complete. I don't think the Florida State should lose their spot, even though Washington is playing great ball right now. You know, still don't think Florida State should lose their spot as of right now.
Yeah.
We'll see where they fall. Not to say that Washington doesn't deserve to be in it, but
Mm-hmm.
I just think up until this point, Florida State was number four, and they still held that position. They
Yeah.
didn't fall. They didn't lose. They lost a player.
Mm-hmm.
So Last time I checked, Georgia didn't fall out of the playoff race because Brock Bowers got hurt. Now they went to number 2 for what, a week, and then went back to number 1.
Hmm.
So, I don't think one player should dictate. If you at the beginning of the season, I could see, you said I don't think this team can make a run. But if you've done this the whole season, you're undefeated. I don't think you should be knocked because a player gets hurt.
Well, I get what you're saying, and I look at it a different way. A tight end rather than your starting quarterback. I get that you're starting tight end, but at the same time, I feel that Georgia has more weapons, on their squad, and it's almost like when you have that system set up to where next man up mentality, and I know Florida State has to have the same mentality, but you have Lad McConkey, you have Oscar Delp, you have a plethora of wideouts that still can make plays as well. Marcus Jackson, Rosemead Jackson, and
So my,
Ra
my
Ra
rebuttal
Thomas.
to that is, and I get it. I get it.
Yeah,
Quarterback got to throw it to somebody.
for sure, one
And
hundred
and it's
percent.
not just one person that's like, what I'm saying? Because last time I checked, nobody was arguing for the receivers for Florida State to be all of them, one of them being a Heisman candidate, right? You got 2 people on Georgia being a Heisman candidate. You got a quarterback, you got the tight end.
Mm-hmm.
We clearly saw in spurts when Brock Bowers was out how they struggled in spurts because Brock Bowers is that safety valve for them. Yes, don't get me wrong, Georgia has a plethora of talent. But when you have some, that's just like, for instance, comparison would be if Ohio State lost what's his name, Marvin Harrison Jr. They lost him. That's a big piece. He's not a quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that they should be counted out. You should put a question mark by all means. Question if they can compete. Yes, don't let them lose their spot because that one player doesn't make the team.
Right.
Like you said, next man up mentality, right? Only way we was able to see the next man up mentality for Georgia was because Bob Bowers went down. Because if you want to be technical, he's the main person.
Yeah.
Lad McConkey is to me is an okay receiver. He's not great to me. He's not elite to me, but that's just my opinion. But the main person they go to is who? Brock Bowers. Because um that's the guy. So if he's getting the majority of your balls, your safety valve. He's very important to what you're trying to do. And if you have to completely change your offense to fit what everybody else is doing because one person is gone, that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, and we saw that first game when he was gone, it struggled a bit because he was used to that safety valve. You know, so the same thing. I mean, I know it's not a quarterback. I know that being a quarterback is a lot more important to a team than just a receiver or a tight end. But don't discredit the fact that a star is a star, a player is a player, a superstar is a superstar. No matter if they're a receiver, tight end, or quarterback, your importance to your team is your importance to your team. So just because you get hurt doesn't mean to me that you should be saying you're not good. You're not good enough to make the
Mm-hmm.
playoffs, but you've been good enough this whole time. But because you lost your quarterback, we're gonna take you out of the top 5 and say, hey, you don't deserve to compete. That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense. Like I can see, like I said, I can see if they lost. If they lost or he struggled completely, you know what I'm saying? Just like what everybody was saying with Georgia. Georgia didn't look themselves, but they still hadn't gotten beaten, right? So you
Right.
don't take them out of the top spot,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that's just my opinion. I see what you're saying, and you're right. Georgia has a plethora of other players or whatever, but those names for a Georgia fan, yes, those are good things. But everybody that's not a Georgia fan might not know those guys. But Brock
Right.
Bowers going down, but they know Brock Bowers,
Yeah.
you know. But him going down allowed for Rah Rah and Eli McConkey to level up. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? So, because last time I checked, the one outside of Carson Beck that was in Heisman conversation was Brock Bowers, not Lad McConkey, not Rah Rah, not none of the other players. You know, so and don't get me wrong, that's not taken away from anybody else. But that's just saying that that player is that important to that team and that good for that team.
Mm.
So, but I get, like I said, I get what you're saying, and you're not wrong. I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
that
Agreed.
I just don't think that one player don't make a team.
Yeah.
You know, one
Yeah.
player doesn't make the team because we've seen. I know we don't talk about pro sports, but we've seen backups win Super Bowls. You know, with the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So we've seen people come in and still because you're still running the same offense. You just got to how poised can your quarterback be?
Mm-hmm.
How calm can he be when those moments come in? You know, because if that was the case, then they should have rolled off Georgia at the beginning of the season because they didn't
Yeah.
have their starter back from last year, but they
Yeah.
didn't do that,
Yeah.
because everybody else was back, you know. So you already have pieces there. So just like Florida State, they still have those pieces there, and his backup has been waiting for his opportunity. He's been sitting here soaking up all the knowledge and this, that, and
Mm-hmm.
the third, and I'm pretty sure that the starter's gonna be there to hey, you got this, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm right here with you. Coach is gonna scheme different for him. You know, they might not have much film on this. Could work in their favor. Like it's not a lot of film on the backup. As
Mm-hmm.
much, could be another Tour Georgia situation. We don't know, but we can't rob the world and let alone the world, but the Florida State team to miss out on that opportunity because one player goes down when they've
Yeah.
been undefeated the whole season.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
that's why I don't like the rankings. But if it was next year, we wouldn't have this problem
Yeah.
because either way,
Right.
it's based
Exactly.
off seeding. At that point, it's just do you get a bye week or don't you? So
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure. Agreed. And I mean, you're not wrong. And I'm glad we had this debate. But it's funny how we left off that Washington game, that Washington Oregon State game. It kind of turned into that from the rankings because the rankings are always it's almost like a toss up. You just never know what you're going to
right,
expect
right, right,
every
right,
Tuesday night because anything can possibly happen. Anything. So,
right,
but
right.
again, shout out to this Washington team for getting into that fourth spot, and hopefully we'll see what they do if they can hold that spot as far as going into the last few weeks of the college football season, and then going into their conference matchup as well. Against more than likely Michigan, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's going to be Michigan. All right, well, we're not gonna waste any time. If y'all can hear, I'm very congested right now. I'm sorry about that.
Just
Um,
nasty.
yeah, sorry. Listen, Metro. Listen, when I say it stormed bad in Metro Atlanta today, and I mean when it starts storming like this and the weather starts to change, I just so allergy medicine is in full effect. I promise y'all, I'm doing everything I can, but I'm a
Sound about
little
right.
yeah, I'm a little right now. But Kentucky, South Carolina. This was one of the games that we really felt like was very pretty much right here for the people that are listening on the actual Spotify, Apple Podcasts. What I'm doing right now is a bridge. It was pretty much like stable, like this isn't a game where you were gonna see a shootout in a sense because
Mm-mm. It,
it's not really meant for that. You're gonna see what you see, and that's it. Okay, like that's the best way
it
to
was
explain it. You're
you
gonna
it,
see,
this game was a pride game. Meaning,
yeah,
when I say that, I mean we're not letting up.
mm-hmm.
Like to the point to where it's not that the offense is playing bad on either side. It's just that the defenses on both sides were like, we're not letting you get anything, and if you
Yeah,
do get something, we're gonna take that. Like we're gonna bend. We may bend, but we're not gonna break.
yeah,
And if we do bend, we're not even gonna get too close enough to the point to where we're gonna break.
mm-hmm.
So it's like, and if you do so happen to score, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? So it was a very, very good game. It got chippy early. The
Mm-hmm.
energy, the atmosphere in South Carolina was so crazy. Like it was so crazy
Yeah,
seeing that DJ coming out and all the fans, man, it was so crazy just from
mm-hmm.
kickoff.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, yeah. Like I said, it wasn't a bad game at all on either side. It was low scoring, but that was one of them old school gutted out,
yeah,
you know, best on best, like I'm not letting up, you not letting up, who gonna win type of
Right.
thing.
Right.
Like let's like old school football. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, and let's be real. Like both of these teams can put up a lot of points on any given night. Like if they're hot. Like
Yeah.
let's be honest. Like you know what I'm saying? Like to South Carolina's defense, they are very, 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 very banged up. They have a lot of injuries, a lot of injuries. But like I said, I mean, both of these teams can light it up in a heartbeat if you
Mm.
let them. You know,
Yeah. This was
so
I think where you're going with that. This South Carolina team was not as slated to kind of give Georgia a competition this year, but Kentucky was. But like you said, this any given day, a team can really like just go and upset someone. So I was worried during that South Carolina Georgia game because one, South Carolina scored first against Georgia, and two,
right.
you just never know. But of course, now that we're getting to the end of the season, Georgia's practically has won out of their schedule because this was supposed to be
No,
the tough game.
practically they done won out.
Yeah,
They got
they
they got
won out.
Tech
I mean,
there
they just got Georgia Tech, but
in regular season, and the only game that's gonna give them a struggle, in my opinion, would be SEC championship
yeah,
because that
yeah,
is like a pride game for Bama because Bama wants to get back, you
hmm
know, and Bama wants to make because Bama. This is a dangerous combination. You got underrated Saban right now. I'm not saying his career is underrated, but this season Saban was underrated because everybody after they lost to Texas and they didn't perform and they almost lost to USF. Everybody slated them and said, "Hey, this Bama team is over with. The Saban dynasty is over with. You know, you know, this is all Georgia's reign. Bama's not gonna make the playoffs. They're horrible. They're this, that, and the third." And Bama came back. Saban came back and said, "Hey, no, 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 no. We're still here.
yeah,
We're still here." And now Bama is playing like their old selves, and they're ticked off. They're hungry. Saban's underrated. Everybody on that team right now is underrated.
hmm
And you go into Atlanta to face Georgia, a rival now. Let's call it what it is. Now it's a rivalry, you know, because they faced off so many different times in big moments, you know. And will this be the year that Georgia beats them in the SEC championship, or will Bama turn the Jets on and make something shake? This is gonna
yeah,
be Georgia's biggest test this year, in my
hmm
opinion. You know, we didn't think that. I mean, I know going into the season, everybody thought that Georgia wasn't going to be tested like that this year because everybody, I know down here in the South, everybody was like, Georgia's going to run the table with their
yeah,
schedule. It's going to be easy. But they've had some games this year where it was, the one possession, and it was like, they just happened to be on the winning side of those possessions because,
hmm
you know, so we'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be an interesting wrap up.
it will, and I think too. I don't. Back to the game. So when this kid was still in high school, he played in a state that's not as known for football because it's not one of those West Coast schools that really gets a lot of shine for football. But if you actually take the time to research, there's a lot of people that come out of this state for football, and the state being Arizona and Spencer Rattler. I want to give Spencer Rattler some grace. Spencer Rattler has held it down this season for South Carolina.
Yeah,
Does the
thanks.
record
That
show?
good, good.
No, the record doesn't show. No, you're good. The record doesn't show for it, but he has did what he could for South Carolina this year, and I
You
want to say
know,
that.
I was just about to, I was just about to piggyback off of that and agree with you. He's been hit the most this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's been hurried the most this year. He's been sacked the most this year. He's been knocked down. Everything this year, and he has stood in there and he's made. You've seen the growth
Mm-hmm.
in him.
Yeah.
Cause he was hot head before. He still, can get a little, but that's football.
Yeah.
But I like Saturday. I saw him make plays that normally he would have done something different.
Yeah.
Like even the simple thing of him running up the middle, taking what the defense gave him and running up the middle. Old him would have scrambled outside automatically and tried to make a play like that. And the growth that he's shown is tremendous.
Hmm.
And I mean, like you said, like you got your top wide receiver out. You got all these different players that are down for you. Your line is banged up. Your line is not that great, but yet you still show up every day and make the best of it. That's
Yeah.
that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah.
And they were still, and they've been right there in a lot of these games. Like
Hmm.
like they were there. They were right there. With on Saturday with everything. You know, so it's tough, man. But that shows you also how tough the SEC is,
Yeah.
and how tough the game of football is, and how important recruiting is to get next man up. Like whatever, if you aren't starting somewhere, man, you just be prepared because your number can be called any time. Like I know
Yeah.
the transfer portal is big, but your number could be called anytime. Injuries
For
happen
sure.
every day. You know what I'm saying? Like jokers miss assignments every day
Hmm.
and get pulled. So,
Yeah.
be ready. Be ready for your time. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I also want to give a shout out because I don't think I don't and I never want to try to dispute you, but I don't think South Carolina's top guys out as far as on the receiving side. Now I could be wrong. Xavier Leggett for South Carolina, one of the another underrated guy in the SEC. 2 touchdowns, 94 yards. Players make plays.
Players make plays. Players make
Players make
plays.
plays. I mean, this guy has really. I look at him and I almost look at him in comparison to Luther Burden from Mizzou. I know like Luther Burden was pretty much going over 100 yards every game, but Xavier Leggett from South Carolina was really not far behind. Like Xavier Leggett can really make plays, and he knows how to find the end zone at will. Like this guy is a stud, and I really look forward to seeing more of him. Again, I don't know any of these guys' classifications, but I really pray to God that they have extra years of eligibility left because it's like you start hearing about these guys and then you see their play and then like they're gone. They're getting drafted. And I'm just like, dude, you literally just had this breakout year and now you're going into the league. Like I want to
All
see
it
more of
takes is
you in
one.
college.
All it takes is
Yeah,
one. When you're a junior, all it takes is one. You know?
you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
When you get
right.
to that
Yeah.
junior state, that's like for instance, Carson Beck is getting. If he was to go right now, he would go. At a pretty decent level, in
Hmm.
my opinion, just because he's had a good year.
Yeah.
But the
Yeah.
thing with those type of players and those with those type of teams, they usually struggle, and when they
Hmm.
get to the next level, and here's why: it's not because they're not good; it's just because they're so used to having so much talent around them.
Yeah.
So when you go and you leave a program that is super talented, and then you get to a program that is not so talented, you struggle because you're used to having the top guy, the backup, the your dump off guy. You having all of these type of players. We see it all the time. We got Mac Jones, Bryce Young right now. All those different players that went to bad situations. It's how it kind of goes. I mean, but for college football, it's fun. Like
Hmm.
it's beautiful, but you just got to go to the right situation. Just like when you picking colleges, it's like going to the right situation that's going to fit you. You know, sometimes we go to that next level and you get in that situation. Sometimes you don't. Most times you don't. So it's rough. It's
Hmm.
rough. But that one, all you need is 1 year. I said,
Yeah.
all you need
Yeah.
is 1 year.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I mean, we've seen a lot of guys take that junior year and just soar in the draft stocks, and they go into the NFL, and I mean they excel in the NFL, but then they just stay for a couple of years, and then they just it's time to wrap it up, or they go to the Canadian League, or they go to the AFL, was
Right.
it AFL, and then the XFL, So it's always those those guys that really like make that impact in college, and then they're just like, okay, I think it's time. It's time to make that jump. But
Yeah, prime
those are the
example of
real
that
those are the real gems.
prime example of that running back used to play for Bama. He sat behind every stud running back that
Oh,
came
are
to
you talking about?
Alabama.
If you're talking about Bo Scarborough, I don't want to talk about it because Bo
No,
Scarborough,
not him, not
not Bo
him, not him.
Scarborough,
He's in the league right now. He's in the league right now.
not Najee.
No, not Najee. He sat behind Najee. He sat behind a lot of big time players. So I can't think of his last name. He plays for Washington. He got shot at the beginning of his rookie season.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow. He
Right.
didn't play for Bama, did he?
He played for Bama. He didn't play until his senior year. Right.
Wow, that's crazy.
You don't remember his name because you
Yeah,
remember Najee. You remember all of those players,
yeah,
but he was the
that's
backup for
crazy.
them. And he played Bryce Young's sophomore year.
Okay.
Played Bryce Young's sophomore year. And he balled out, he did his
It's like
thing, got
it's like Brian something. It's Brian.
Brian
It's not.
Robinson. Brian
Yeah.
Robinson.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Yep. It's crazy. Like that the 1 year. So like for instance, and then yeah,
Yeah,
I know
that's
we kind of
crazy.
off topic. We kind of off topic or
Yeah,
whatever, but it's kind of on topic.
yeah.
It take 1 year for you to do your thing,
Mm,
or you using the transfer portal to your advantage. You know, I'm gonna use a prime example. Like I said, we don't like to talk about pro on the college couch, but it all starts with the college couch, and the next level would be professional.
yep.
But I'm saying this to say that use your soak up your knowledge, and if you see that your situation at your college is not gonna work in your favor, use the transfer portal.
Hmm.
Because I'm gonna use a prime example. What's his name? God, what's his name? Played for New Orleans. Running back. I can't think of his name. I just drew a blank in the middle.
Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara. He backed up some of the greatest running backs to play for Bama.
No, Tennessee. He came from Tennessee,
No,
brother.
he played for Bama first. You don't remember this, right?
Alvin Kamara did.
He played for Bama. He played with Derrick Henry and all of those guys. Yes.
Really?
But you don't remember that, right?
That's crazy.
Right?
That's almost like when Cam played for Florida. A lot of people don't realize that.
Right. He was the backup at Florida, right?
Yeah,
Now, his situation is a little bit different.
yeah,
but but we ain't gonna talk about that because I
yeah.
love Cam Newton. But
Uh,
Alvin Kamara played for Bama. Like, go look it up. You'll find the
yeah.
picture with
I'm
all of
I'm
them.
doing that now.
Right. But he transferred to Tennessee because who was going to start over any of those players?
Yeah.
For 40 years, who's going to start over any of those players?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he left and went to Tennessee, and that's where he got his shine. Right? So I say that to say, even though I talk junk about the transfer portal, it's there for a reason. If your situation is not going to be in your favor somewhere, use it.
Yeah.
Me personally, I just don't like when people abuse it, meaning to the where you're about to be the guy,
Mm.
but you chose to leave. For
Yeah.
what? For what reason? You know. So you know what I'm saying, or you just you ball out, you're not getting your way or whatever, and you try to
Mm.
leave. If I'm not sitting here trying to mess with anybody's progress. Like Bo Nix did the prime example. He gave everything he could to a college. And then when he realized that he couldn't get any further with them, he left. And
Mm-hmm.
now look at him. He's been in
Yeah.
Oregon for 2 years and he's been balling. He's one of the front runners for Heisman right now. So
Mhm.
evaluate your situation. Don't just be like, all right, I'm jumping in the portal because you made me mad. No. Evaluate your situation. You know what I'm saying? Do what's best for you. But that's why I say that to say that, because like you said, all it takes is 1 year. And if you're
Yeah.
not getting that 1 year with your college, you know what I'm saying? Move on. You know? But I get it. I get loyalty and all of that type of stuff. But if you know
Mhm.
you're not gonna get that shine, then don't sit there and soak up whatever knowledge you can from that coach. Like if you at Georgia, soak up all the knowledge you can from Kirby Smart and all the other guys in that locker room.
Mhm.
Dap that a championship mentality and then go somewhere that you want it. Or not
Yeah.
even that you want it, that you fit well.
Yeah.
You know? Cause just cause you a running back don't mean you gonna, start at Georgia. You just gonna be strengthening their running back room because they got so many. You know, and at one
Yeah.
time, just like with Bama, like what I'm saying, you might be better utilized at a Tennessee, or you might be better utilized at a Auburn, or you might be better utilized at a Missouri, or whatever. Just figure out because all of these atmospheres are tremendous. UGA's atmosphere is beautiful. Auburn's atmosphere is beautiful. Bama, even though I can't stand them, their atmosphere is great. So just find where where you fit best. Not
Mhm.
just because of a name. Don't go off of just a name. Don't. That's what I would say. Just
Yeah.
to say that it takes 1 year. Don't go off a name. Go off a situation.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, hey, we just got a history lesson today because I was totally unaware. Like, I mean, blind to the fact
Yeah,
that
but
Alvin Kamara
but
played for Alabama.
But that's cool though, because
Yeah.
what I'm saying, you don't realize that, but
Yeah.
like it just proved the point of get out of there. You know what I'm saying? If you look around and you see this Joker probably finna go first round and he gonna be
Mhm.
here about 2 years. This Joker could go first round
Yeah.
right now, but he gonna be here for 3 years. And then I got this Joker to the next to me. He gonna be around for 3, 4 years. And here I am. I know I can go first round, but I'm back up to all these jokers. So I still, if one get hurt, I still got to jump over the other. Yeah, man, just go to a situation that's gonna fit you where you can, thrive. You know.
Yeah. You're right.
So
I'm sorry. I had to
yeah,
step off camera real quick. Sorry about that.
nah, you good, you good. I just talked to the chair.
Yay. Thank you. It's a very nice chair.
Yeah, but
Very
nah,
nice chair.
but I just say that, I
Yeah.
mean, I know this is not, what we were trying to go into, but I just say that to
But no,
say, hey,
you're right. You're right.
you know,
You're very right.
since
And
we
and
talked
that's
about the 1 year thing, I just
yeah.
had to,
What I love about the transfer portal is it gives that feel of almost like a trade is occurring. Even though the team that the player is leaving from is not really getting anything in return, in a sense they are because new players are coming in. So when a player transfers out, it really brings a lot more of excitement to the college football world in a sense that people really don't realize because not only is it making room for more players to come into that program that the player is leaving, but you're also now about to get someone that could potentially help your team
right,
be better. So I
right.
I I enjoy the transfer portal. I really do. Now NIL and transfer portal, that's like it's almost like oil and water.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I
saying?
got I got a thought on that too. It's kind of like for me, if you good, I look at it like this: like if I had a son and he was going through this trying to figure it out. For me, it's like if you go into a right situation where you got a chance to start, you know, the scheme fits. Like okay, for instance, like if you are a mobile quarterback and you do well in the RPO game, and you want to stay in the South and you want to be a part of a big program, you want somewhere with a great training facility because you like to work out, you like to work on your game. Okay, I will suggest Auburn because that is a RPO situation. But if you are going to be that guy, and your play is going to reflect that because of your situation, the money is going to come because they're gonna you're gonna get money through the their program, and then you're gonna get commercials and different things like that. Why? Because you're that guy. But if the scheme fits for you, that brings more opportunity. Prime example, since we're talking about NILs and college sports, college basketball and women's. Angel Reese, she played good at Maryland, but then she found a scheme fit at LSU, and now look at her. You know, she's big time. She's got some struggles going on, apparently off the court or whatever. But I don't want to get into that because I want to keep her character intact or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just using that as a launching point to say, hey, just because you don't follow the money right away. This the thing that got you here is the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect the sport, be great at the sport on the field and off the field or whatever, and the money gonna find you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just like
Yeah.
Caleb Williams. He was at Oklahoma, balled out as a back, earned his spot, and then moved to USC, and now look at he's on Heisman commercial. He's a Heisman winner. He's making money from Nissan and this, that, and the third because you know put his head down and got the work done. So
Mhm.
that's what I would say.
Yeah.
Don't chase the money like right away. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like if you ain't offering me 6 million, I ain't coming. Don't do that.
Oh my
Let your
God,
game speak for itself.
bro.
They're ready to throw money at you. You know
I'm
what I'm
telling
saying?
you. It's so crazy you said that, and I mean, bro, we are the kings of being off topic. I think that's what makes us special and unique. But I saw something on Twitter maybe a few weeks back, and I think it was this guy. I can't remember his name to save my life, but I want to say he was a part of a collective, pretty much organization that gives out NIL.
Hold on one
And
second.
okay, well, while we're waiting, guys, I hope that you guys have a blessed and safe holiday as we're going into the Thanksgiving holiday. I hope that you guys are able to spend it with your families, eat as much as you possibly can. Just have a great Thanksgiving, and yeah, I really I think being able to be a part of the holiday of Thanksgiving is really important, especially around this time because just being able to spend that time with family is super important, especially the Stackz and I. So I just wanted to throw that out there while we had that little break. Please have a safe and happy Thanksgiving for you guys. So yeah. All right, so back to what I was saying, a little commercial break. It was this guy on Twitter who's a part of a collective, and he reached out to this kid about potential deal, and the guy threw out X amount. The kid responded back in the most disrespectful, I mean rude, get the F off my phone, this, that, and the third. Like that ain't nothing. That's chump change. Dude, kids would kill for that. Like, it's some kids when this NIL deal came to Georgia again. Me and Stacks are both from the state of Georgia. When NIL got approved here in the state, I mean, kids actually felt like they could get that opportunity to not only make some money for themselves, but they could change their families' lives.
Right.
And you got kids like this who have the audacity to tell somebody, let alone an adult. It ain't even about who it is. An adult. Get the F off my phone. That's chump change.
Well,
What?
you gotta. I know a lot of people hate on Saban and his ways and stuff like that, and certain
Yeah.
things, whatever. But like he said, when he gave these kids NIL, what did you think was gonna happen?
Hmm.
Right? You, you tell a 17-year-old, oh, I can make money. You can make money now off of college. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not against the NIL. I just think it should be a stipulation on it. Like, if you're a superstar and you've earned that or whatever, then you should get top dollar.
Hmm. Hmm.
Before you even play it down at the college, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, because I know that the universities make tons and tons of money and coaches make millions and millions of dollars. Players should make that too. Don't get me wrong. Because I used to be like, I think they should make a little bit. No, if you're a superstar and you are the focal front of your team and you are doing your thing like Marvin Harrison Jr., not just off of his name, he's a stud. He's a beast. Shows up to work every day and balls out. He should be paid handsomely.
Hmm.
Caleb Williams, Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, all these players that are big time, you should be, paid great. You
Hmm.
know, the Sanders brothers, they are balling. They are top
Yeah.
tier at their position at their schools. They should be paid great.
Hmm.
But if you are not, if you're coming into college, meaning like you're being recruited, you shouldn't be like, yo, all right, you got to give me 10 million before I sign. What? I don't know what you can do. Like, you know
Right.
what I'm saying? I've seen you in high school, but it's a whole nother level.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're
It's a
coming in,
gener-
you're a 5 star, but this player right here is a 5 star too.
Yeah.
You know,
It's only certain players who come across as a generational talent that you know will actually be worth the money
right?
that you give
And
them.
and and to me, most of them, like Travis Hunter, I have yet to see him mention anything about money.
Yeah.
Yet to see it, and he plays both sides of the ball, and he deserves every dollar that he is paid,
Hmm.
and to probably even need more. But he need to be paid for both positions,
Hmm.
you know, because he plays both elite.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So those type of players, to me, have earned the right to say to negotiate.
Hmm.
Because if you ain't got nothing, okay, you played well in high school, you know, but you also play these same teams every year for the
Yeah.
most part, right? You know, and then you also, you know what I'm saying, learn these players, right? You know, but your freshman year you wasn't a superstar. Your sophomore year, so you wasn't a superstar. So that tells me that you had to grow into that. You weren't just gifted with this, right? You know what I'm saying? So same thing is when you get recruited. Okay, yeah, you're coming in as a freshman. We want you here, but don't. It can't be about money because if that's the case, you're gonna get here, play good or play bad or whatever, and then once somebody else says, "Hey, I'll pay you 10 million more," you're gonna leave.
Yeah.
You know, and then if it's all about money, you'll never sit and grow with a team, right?
Hmm.
And to NFL knowledge, they want you to, you know what I'm saying? They want to see you, you know, what you can do with whatever.
Yeah.
But you only, to me, should be able to negotiate that price like that as if you are top tier. That's
Yeah.
just my opinion. You know,
Agreed.
everybody got other stuff they want to say about it, but you shouldn't come in saying, "Hey, all right, how much can you offer me?" No, 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 no.
Right.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
You got to earn this first. Like this
Yeah.
is not because if you go to the NFL and you trash and your work ethic is trash, you're gonna be broke. So if you're 17 years old and you already got this mindset that I'm already good enough, show me my money, you get hurt, then what?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You got money, but now your next level is not because if you're looking at it like this, if you're gonna make it business, everything's transactional, right? So
Hmm.
I have to be able to see what I'm getting. Okay, I can see it in high school. I got to see it live and in person on the SEC playing field or the Big 12 playing field, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for instance, I go to a professional player like with Jokic. You know, coming to a player place on paper, he don't look like he's that much of a player, a great player. You know, but when he gets on the court, you see all the things that he does because you can't simulate passing,
Hmm.
can't simulate IQ. You know what I'm saying? You can shoot threes all day long, but just because you miss five of them doesn't mean that you're not a great shooter or a good shooter. I mean you're not a good basketball player. You do other things well. You know, I know he's not a superstar or whatever in the sense that we like to look at. Pat Bev, the things that he does great, you don't see it on the court right now. I mean,
Hmm.
you don't see it, by the eye test. You
Hmm.
see it in the game in real time.
Yeah.
You know, getting in people's heads. You know, doing this, that, and the third. You know, so that's just on the basketball aspect. With football, you don't know until you get because how many busts have we seen? Not just in NFL. I'm talking about come to college.
Yeah.
I give you a prime example as an Auburn fan. Jeremy Johnson, horrible, pooh, but he was Mr. Football at Alabama in Alabama, 5 star, all of that. First game as you a starter, you throw 4 interceptions. You know, but if I give you all this money, I don't know what my investment is looking like
Yeah.
because at that point it's an investment.
Exactly.
You know, play it
Exactly.
down first, play a season first. You
Yeah.
know, then your sophomore year come at me and then say, "Hey, I need more money.
Hmm.
What's up?"
It's almost like working at a job. You're just pretty much playing based off your performance, and you
Right,
should
and
be
that's
paid based off your performance.
exactly. If you want to make it professional, that's what we gonna do. Because in the
Yeah.
NFL, that's what it is.
Hmm.
And if
It's a
you want to
job.
do it, it's right. You got
Yeah.
to show up to work every day, and because you got to think about it, what separates you? Because if you're a 5 star and your backup's a 5 star, what's separating the two of you?
Exactly.
The only thing that you can say is going to separate the two is consistency.
Hmm.
Who's in the film room more? Who's on the practice field more? Who's in the weight room more? Who wants it more? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're that good as you think you are, your sophomore year, you shouldn't even make it into your sophomore year without people throwing money at you.
Yeah.
if you're that good, you know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? Because you shouldn't even have to ask for more money. They should be like, all right, look, we want to keep you. We want to do this.
Yeah,
How does this number sound? And then you can negotiate from there. Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
you know, it's
Hey,
it's, it's one of those
you
things.
you listen. You know how we get. This is a
Yeah,
passionate
I mean,
debate.
I could go all day
we
long
we
about it,
have
but I,
we have
you know,
literally went into an hour and we haven't even we haven't even got into our basketball games yet, brother. So let's not get too deep into the rabbit hole. But man, listen, that is some great conversation, and we those are all valid points that we made just within that hour that we have. But let's go ahead and transition into this upset that we have. Dude, Jackson State came into this game 0-5 against 3-1 Missouri, brother.
let's
So
talk about it. Let's talk about
brother, I missed this game, but when I saw the highlights, let me tell you something.
it.
Jackson State had probably, if I want to say, if I'm correct, just stepped off a plane or just stepped off of a charter bus. They didn't get a plane. They got a charter bus, and they were just coming from Tulsa, Oklahoma, from playing Tulsa. Their legs, bro. There's no way they had fresh legs. But the way they came into this game against Mizzou, I mean, from the tip, they played so aggressive the entire first half that even in halftime, they were down by 3 points. Stacks, 3 points. You can't be mad at play like that. Like, I mean, it, Mizzou had a
Oh,
lot of mistakes, a
right.
lot.
I mean, you know, with basketball, with any other sports, it's okay. You got you got talent, which
Hmm.
is major.
Yeah.
You got hard work, which is another one, and then you got mental mistakes, and then you got capitalization,
Mm-hmm.
right? So Mizzou supposedly is more talented because they're a bigger school. Okay, Jackson State has a lot of talent as well.
Yeah.
But I want to first, before I get too deep into that, I want to give credit to Coach Mo Williams in his second year.
Hmm.
You know, he had them boys ready. So,
Yes.
like going
Love
back
Mo
to what,
Williams in the NBA. By the way, sorry.
right, right, yeah, you know, great guard, great,
Yeah.
like you know. So going off, I just want to get that out of the way. But
Mm-hmm.
Jackson State has talent, you know, because with basketball, like we talked about before, basketball is not like football. Like the
Yeah.
talent gap is not as major, in my opinion, because basketball you can pick up a basketball anywhere and ball out. You know what I'm saying? You know, so cohesiveness, like you know what I'm saying. And then, like you said, they made mistakes. Missouri made mistakes. Jackson State capitalized on their mistakes,
Mm-hmm.
so their talent caught up. So those mistakes closed the talent gap. So you say, okay, I'm talented, so I'm here, but we're talented here. So how do we close that down? We get in your head. You got many more mistakes. So now the gap's closing even more.
Yeah.
Execution. Okay, we're executing on everything. Now it's closing even more. And now you've made so many mistakes. You're tired. Your legs are tired. We built for this. We got nothing left. We 0-5. We got nothing left to lose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we got nothing left to lose. We're tired of losing. You know. Now we're because you know in the beginning of the season you got some cohesive problems because everybody's trying to figure out who does what well in the game, where they like the spot, where they like the ball, how they like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they're learning those different things. So you know, 0-5. I mean, although a rough start doesn't mean necessarily it's bad. It just means that okay, you're trying to iron things out. So, and I think they ironed a lot of stuff out versus
Yeah.
Missouri.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, and they came together at the right time. They were able to withstand the runs. They were able to go on runs themselves. And it like I said, capitalization on the turnover. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. You could be overmatched, and that team can make mental errors. If you capitalize on that, that can be the difference in you getting blown out and you winning the game. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
give you one that stings right now. Auburn this weekend versus who do we play? New Mexico State. You know, talent gap. You know, but mental mistakes. You know,
Yeah.
capitalize. You get and once you give a team that was written off, meaning like Missouri was supposed to beat Jackson State by a large margin. Once you give that team momentum, oh, it's over with. Bless you.
Yeah.
It's over with. And then you have a good coach at that,
Hmm.
over with. And now they're
Yeah.
going to capitalize, and now they got confidence. So now they're going to be running harder. Now they're going to be moving faster. Now they're going to be making shots. Now they're going to come off them screens a little faster because it's like, oh, we really got a shot at beating these boys. Like,
And that's exactly what happened.
right. So
They capitalized on Mizzou's 18 turnovers. 18 turnovers Mizzou had, and Jackson State found a way to capitalize on each one of those turnovers.
I don't care who you're playing against.
Hmm.
You could be playing against the wall. You turn the ball over 18 times. More than likely, you are going to lose. You know?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and to Jackson State's credit, you get that many turnovers again. You force a team to get that many turnovers, and you capitalize. That's 18 points right there. If you just
Hmm.
off two, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's unanswered. You know what I'm saying? That's 18 buckets that you get that they don't, and that's just off of twos. That's just assuming they took twos. You know what I'm saying? Took
Hmm.
regular shots.
Yeah.
So that's 30. That's what 32 points if you just taking twos.
Hmm.
So and you taking mid range and layups. So that's 32
36.
points.
36.
36
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
You know. So so that 36 points that you've just taken from them.
Hmm.
So it's simple.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? It's simple. It's just one of them things. Like even from basketball to football, I mean, you capitalize on those opportunities.
Hmm.
It's a saying that goes to beat the best, you gotta be your best.
Hmm.
Not necessarily, you gotta knock them down. You gotta be your best, meaning like
Yeah.
you gotta capitalize on everything. You dang
Yep.
near gotta be perfect, and if you're not perfect, you gotta hustle and transition. So if you turn the ball over, you gotta get a turnover. You know what I'm saying? So it was one of those nights.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm very happy for Jackson
I'm
State. Man.
super, super
You
happy
know,
from Jackson. Again, they came into the season 0-5. 0-5, brother. And I mean, that was definitely a win, especially on the road in a Power Five like that. Oh yeah, that may have just turned their season around. Them boys might just mess
I
around
hope
and win
so.
out the rest of the season. But let's go ahead and switch over to. So now South Carolina, the women's team is now number one. Of course, LSU has some internal stuff going on, and they've been dropping. But now South Carolina is number one. But you have a new favorite player in the
Love
women's
him. Love him.
in the women's, and
Beast.
it's not Caitlin Clark, it's not Angel Reese, it's not Flage, brother. Say the name for me.
With Fu Wiley? Last
Fu
name Fu
Wiley,
Wiley?
Malaysia,
Malaysia Fu
Malaysia.
Wiley.
Yeah, Malaysia
Malaysia.
Fuwali, freshman,
I'm
right?
I'm probably still messing it up,
Yeah.
but she ain't messing up nothing. She's coming to the lane, going behind the back. I
Hmm.
mean, she is a beast. She
Yeah.
been balling out,
Yeah.
but Don Staley, she always figure out a way to find those hidden gems,
Hmm.
put a team together that's going. She don't take no nonsense. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like South Carolina felt disrespected last year.
Hmm.
You know, saying not being able to get that championship run that they wanted. And I think that they are destined for this year. This year's the year,
Hmm.
you know. And
Yeah.
I honestly hope that we see South Carolina and Iowa this year, because
Mm.
I want to see Caitlin Clark play against that tough
Yeah.
South. Because last year she had some choice words and some choice gestures for South Carolina last year. So
Hmm.
I hope we get to see that matchup again. I hope it comes in the in the championship, but
Yeah.
at least I hope that we get to see it at least one time.
Absolutely. And I mean, from the looks of it, dude, this freshman is leading second in points, third in three point percentage, and as well, from the looks of it, let's see here, fourth, I want to say, in assist percentage.
Bro,
That's
she
not
is a
bad.
beast.
That's not
Not
bad.
bad.
Yeah,
That
I'm
is
looking forward to
awesome
seeing.
for a freshman to
Yeah.
come in there. Like to that means you scoring that thing, you
Yeah.
shooting that mug like on point. That mean you setting up your teammates.
Hmm.
That mean, come on, bro. Like let's make it make sense. And then she doing it so smooth
Hmm.
too. Like it's not like it's smooth. Like she can ball, man. She can hoop.
I love that.
I
I
look
love
forward
that.
to seeing more of her, and I think she went to the right team with the right coach.
Yeah.
Like we talked about before. For one, players make plays. She is a beast.
Hmm.
But we gonna say it again for the ones in the back. Players make plays, but your situation gotta be beautiful too.
Yeah.
And if she is in a good situation with South Carolina, she's able to be herself, play loose, play within the system at the same
Hmm.
time. And she got a coach that don't take no mess. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She don't take no mess. She gonna call you out, but she gonna love on you. And I love it.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, if you want to check out Miss Fuwali and the rest of the South Carolina squad, they play this upcoming Friday, November 24th, the day after Thanksgiving against Mississippi Valley State on SEC Plus Network. And then they have a ranked opponent, which is number 18 South Carolina. That Thursday, the following Thursday, November 30th on ESPN at 7 p.m. So that's going to be a little primetime matchup. And but yeah, it sounds like this South Carolina team is gelling very quickly. They already knocked off number 10 Notre Dame as well as number 14 Maryland. So I think that's really cool to see, freshmen getting that shine very early and to pretty much make that impact on the team as well. So last but not least, now that you brought up Miss the probably one of the most electrifying women in the game right now, Miss Caitlin Clark. Dude, let's talk about this. 31 points per game. She's
And,
first, of course.
the
She's
the
first.
point,
She's first in the league.
right? She broke the record for most 30-point games in
Yeah,
a
so yeah,
college
that's about
career.
right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think it was either 30-point games or three. She broke a record, a big time record. She
I
say
would
what you
hope
want.
so. I mean, I would
Say what
hope.
you want. Players made plays, and she been making them.
I
Like,
mean,
but I love the swagger that she plays with. Like,
yeah.
I love the swagger that she plays with. Like, I know a lot of people give backlash to the women basketball players for
Hmm.
talking junk and playing with their heart, but I love it. Like you
Yeah,
put that much effort into a sport, you supposed to be passionate about it. You supposed to talk junk. You supposed to get in people's face. That's what makes it fun. Like that's the entertainment aspects of it. And the
yeah,
guys do it. I know when I play, and I'm not even top tier basketball player. I can hoop, but I ain't no hooper. It's a difference.
yeah.
I talk junk. I talk my noise. You know what I'm saying? I hit a three in somebody's face. They've been jawing at me. I'm gonna say something back. I'll say, "What you said, brother? What you?" You know what I'm
What you
saying? Like
said.
thi-
What you
this,
said, brother.
this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But
Uh,
you gotta play the game with a swagger. That's on any sport. I don't
yeah.
care if it. Could name me a sport that ain't got no celebration, and I tell you where you lying. Golf
Cricket.
even got a celebration, and that's a gentleman's sport. So you
Cricket.
tell me. You tell me. You know what I'm
Cricket.
saying? You celebrating cricket? Them jokers
I
celebrate?
don't know.
I'm
I've never
telling you.
watched a cricket game in my life.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Cause think about it, man. Jokers win. They go to doing. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
you know, golf. Tiger Woods with his signature. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty then, type
yeah,
thing. You know, every sport got it. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
Baseball got it. Soccer got it.
yeah,
So let the players play. Let players make plays. Talk your junk. Angel Reese, Flauget, Kayla Clark, Fu Wiley, all of y'all ball how y'all ball, man.
mhm.
Talk your junk. Let them hear about it. You know what I'm saying? Do your dance, whatever it is. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I'm here for it.
It
That's what
brings
makes the game
excitement to the
fun, man.
game.
Like,
It definitely brings a lot of excitement, as well as a lot of exposure. Because I
hey,
think, bro, last season really opened a lot of eyes to women's basketball, especially just with LSU going on their run, and then South Carolina, and I mean Caitlin Clark, all these influential people coming to light in the women's division really put that mark on not only young girls who really grown up loving the sport, but also, on the men's perspective, like a lot of guys were like, okay, like what's going over there in the women's division? Like I'm seeing
Yeah,
all this
right.
stuff, on the highlights and ESPN and stuff. Let me check in and see, if what I'm hearing is correlating with what I'm about to see. So I think that was really cool to see, the women getting that shine that they so
And here's,
deserve, that is so
that
deserving. So
right,
yeah,
right.
it's
They
it's
should definitely
great.
like the women's championship last year was one of the most, no, the most viewed
Yeah.
championship, women's championship, and I
Hmm.
think it was higher than a lot of other sporting events.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
give these girls some credit, man. These women are baller. Like
Mhm.
they're sacrificing time, you know, holidays and doing different things to play a sport that they love. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying, in front of fans, give them a show. You
Yeah.
know, but I will say this is to me. So I'm gonna wrap it up, but this is where NIL comes into a play in a good way
Mm.
for them, and here's why. Because if you're playing a women's sport, right, you get NIL money, that gives you an opportunity to make millions, right? You're already making more than what the WNBA is paying
Hmm.
professional players, right? So if the WNBA wants that talent, so if they want a Flau'jae or they want a Caitlin Clark or they want an Angel Reese or they want a Fuwiley or whatever, all these players, what are they gonna have to do? They're gonna have to pay them more. Why? Because just like Angel Reese had every opportunity to go play professionally last year, she chose to come back. Why? Because she was gonna make more money being a student in college than she would being a professional athlete in the
Yeah.
WNBA. So for them, it gives them all the leverage in the world for the next level. So now they have to pay. You got to pay millions now because they're making it in college.
Mm.
Now, why would she? Why would a player leave college where they're making $5 million to go make $250,000? And that's if they're elite in that next level.
Yeah.
So why would they leave? You know what I'm saying? So it just brings a light out to that problem that we already know that the
Yeah.
women should be paid significantly more than what they are being paid. So
Absolutely. That's a great rap. I love that. I love that. That was very, very well put. And I know that was something that was burning in your spirit for a minute. And
yeah,
that
it
was
was just
great.
letting my spirit. Yeah,
Yeah, that was really good. And I mean that was well explained. I mean, you always give a great perspective, especially on issues like that. And that was good. That was good. But yeah, that was a great rap. And I think that's our cue, brother. Like that was, yeah, right on. Um, listen, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another phenomenal episode of the College Couch Podcast, episode 10. This is it. You finally got it after some little, minor hiccups that we had on our end. But hey, thank y'all so much for rocking with us. We cannot thank you guys enough for everything that y'all do, from sharing, DMing us, texting us, whatever. Your feedback matters in so many ways to where we can better this platform and help it grow to the level that it needs to be on. So I cannot thank you guys enough. And before I toss it over, Jay, again, y'all have a great Thanksgiving. Spend as much time with y'all family, and don't go too crazy on Black Friday, because I know y'all finna be in them stores going absolutely insane. So be safe. And yeah, Jay, take us home, brother.
hey man, we appreciate y'all, man. Like, comment, share. If you got a player you want us to talk about, you got a person you want us to cover, a school that's doing their thing, or whatever. If you an athlete and you want us to talk to you or talk about you, let us know. We want to check you out. We want to get into what you got going on. If you want to come on here and talk about the NIL deals, if you want to
Mm-hmm.
come on here and talk about the game, if you just want to talk about whatever, let us know. Like, comment, share, tell your friend to tell a friend, and tell their sister, tell their cousin, whatever. To check us out, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all be safe. Happy Thanksgiving. Eat enough for me. Get a plate for me. We'll holler at you.
Uh, wake up, I gotta go get it. Wake up, I gotta.